In the story of progress, every chapter of development adds depth, richness, and meaning to our collective narrative. From the smallest steps to the grandest strides, every act of development paves the way for a brighter tomorrow. Welcome to the Development Report on Universal Television Africa. I am IFY ONYEKWERE, and together we'll be coming close to our common good as a nation as we look into corporate responsibility in reducing plastic waste. And I have an amazing guest in the studio here, ONYEKWERE, who is a climate and energy expert. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation. In a world where challenges persist, we seek solutions for a sustainable tomorrow. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, guides our path towards climate action to social justice as we build resilient communities. From embracing circular economies, to reducing carbon footprint, to promoting eco-innovation, to empowering marginalized communities and ensuring inclusive governance and human rights. Through integrated approaches, we are fostering transformative change. I am IFY ONYEKWERE. Join me on the Development Report as we explore the intersection of sustainability on Universal Television Africa towards sustainable development. Welcome back. This is still the Development Report with IFY ONYEKWERE on Universal Television, and we're discussing corporate responsibility in reducing plastic waste. Before we went on that break, I introduced our guest. We have a guest in the studio, ONYEKWERE, who is a climate and energy expert. Great to have you in the studio, ma'am. I want to know what is it, why the passion on climate and energy, because there are so many women out there, and I believe this might just be an inspiration for them. So tell us why you have to delve into this before we go into the main topic of today.
Okay, thank you very much. Climate change is an everyday occurrence.
Sure.
It's really affecting all sectors of life. When you look at the health sector, for example, you see that you register more of stagnance, morbidity and mortality and the rest caused by climate change.
That's right.
Can you imagine the northeastern part of Nigeria having a flood? It's caused by climate change. Climate change has to do with long time change in temperature by a period of time. And if you don't take note of such things, it's going to have an adverse impact on the society, on the environment or the economy. So it's either ways. Women are always affected, because if you look through those videos that we'll be seeing online circulating, women, we are struggling so hard to leave the flood area, to swim, to find what to eat, to cultivate and stuff like that. So climate change is really affecting women. And in terms of, again, to find what to eat, to go to the forest to get deforestation, to cut down trees, it's all these things causes climate change. Because if you have to look at, people wonder, why is the northeast or northwest having this kind of situations? They are not known for it in the past.
That's right.
It's not just that God is angry with us. No, He's not angry with us. It's what we did to ourselves. So
amazing.
We should know that climate change is real, and we should all find a way to mitigate it in our own little way. That's why passion for climate change came.
Amazing.
So I think that in my own case, I want to really advocate for climate change, because when you look around again, you still see that its impact is everywhere. It's affecting me as well. You see how big I am. It's climate change. Sorry.
Really?
Just make it. No, I'm just joking. Sorry. But climate change is what we talk about every day. No matter how you see the emissions coming from fossil fuels, the emissions coming from industries are really impacting us, either in our health hazards like breathing, air pollution, or in our environments that have blood visions for sight.
That's right.
Or even some people have the issue of hearing because of all this noise pollution coming from such pollution. So climate change is real. So everyone has to take account of it, irrespective of your gender.
Amazing.
Man, woman, child, youth, whatever.
Amazing.
Just take it into account.
All right. So I'm bringing it down to the topic of today, corporate responsibility in reducing plastic waste. What is it about plastic waste that poses danger to us as a people? And how did we get to this point where there have been so much call, or there is now so much call on the use and then the reduction of plastic waste?
Yeah. Corporate responsibility simply means self-regulation, where you put maybe impose on yourself to really see that you reduce some effect of some hazards or contribute to well-being of particular society. And for corporate social responsibilities, have to do with you contributing economically, socially, environmentally, ethically, and they lost and others. There are plenty of them.
That's right.
So for them to see plastic waste is non-biodegradable, they can never decay.
Could you just, yes, I want you to you know, explain that to the audience so they really get, you know, when you say plastic waste is, you know, biodegradable, let them understand what that
they don't
means.
decay. If I keep it here, it stays here for life. Unless I go into melting. I had to pass it through another process, which I melt it. But if I don't do any process to it, it stays there for life.
The way it
so
is.
imagine that a plastic I dump into a landfill, or don't have landfill, we have dump sites in Nigeria. Dump into I throw into a dump site. You go back there, you see the only thing you see that is being crushed. Maybe trailer crushed it, like pressed it from its size to reducing the size. That's the only thing that happens to it. It doesn't decay. So corporate social responsibilities in this action, in this case, has to say, how can we really change these narratives of having our plastic littering over the places? Because if you have litters of plastics everywhere, it's an eyesore for the first instance. It's an eyesore, let alone whatever you think of the net after effect. It's an eyesore. So how do you see that an organization tries to find a way suitable to like gather those things and make it into a useful product for another service to be used for it.
Before we actually go to the part of what organizations should be doing, you know, I want the audience to know the implications of these things themselves. Now, talking about corporate responsibility, we'll also talk about the side of the business owners and all like that. Now, when these plastics, you know, you mentioned, even though they're in dump sites, they remain the way they are. Could you just break down what's the implication of this? Because people might just feel like, oh, so the reason why they are asking us to pack up that plastic waste is just for the eyesore, you know, but I believe it's beyond that. Yeah. So could you tell us the implication, you know, of this? Then we can now start addressing the producers and then those and other you know, private or public enterprises on what they should be doing. So what is the main reason why plastic should not, you know, be littered everywhere?
Like I said, that whatever we are doing in life, we have to look at 3 sustainable approaches or steps.
That's right.
Sustainability, environment, and social. So when we look at the sustainability part of it, it's going to affect the environment, because, you know, sustainability means leaving it for people to see, to be able to enjoy, to be able to accept what you have left.
That's right.
Not destroying the environment. Social means me and you can enjoy what they're saying and have a way of trying to make it lively to everybody. Then environment, social, environment, and say the third one. Sorry, my mind is there, but not the leisure. In environment, you know, it when it mixes with the soil. I don't want to go too technical with this, but if you allow me, I'll just go a little bit.
You can actually.
When it mixes with the soil, what they call, I don't know, I'm not a soil scientist, but the soil scientist can tell us better. It mixes and it has an impact on the soil fertility.
Really?
And also has an impact on the food that is being generated or being produced from those particular type of soil. That is why sometimes the soil doesn't make enough food. You'll be wondering, why is this particular soil? When I planted maize last year, it was so enormous, the fertility was so high, but this year again, there is so much reduction in crop yield. It's caused by such things. If you neglect such things in your environment, when you say that it doesn't matter, anyway, it doesn't matter, however, just neglection can be. And again, if you look at the health-wise, if you put these plastics on the floor or anything, people pick it up and use it for something else. You don't know the health implications of what they, not the health, you don't know the process that they have gone through in order to make it worthwhile for you to take. So these are all, so look at again the environment, the economic aspect. It takes a lot to evacuate these things. It's not just cheap. To evacuate the plastic from a particular place, it takes a very lot. You're going to bring into manpower, security, and other things to take such things out of the particular place. So it takes a lot for these plastics to
and they
Not
have
just-
implications.
not just for the environment,
Amazing
but
how,
the
you know,
lifestyle, yeah.
we don't, you know, a lot of people might not even connect plastics to the food we eat,
Yeah.
but it's amazing how there is a connection there. Yeah, so we're still discussing corporate responsibility in reducing plastic waste. We'll go on a break right now, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
Hello, amazing people. My name is Godfrey, Kelechku Godfrey, and you can call me K. I am a banker with over a decade experience with Nigeria's foremost financial institution, a certified financial educator, a young man with an acumen for business and financial intelligence. Let's just say I am the first financial educator you should have met and the last you'll ever need. I am the host of Money Matters with K on Universal TV Africa, where we discuss your money, my money, and the government's money. Without further much ado, let's get the show on the road.
In a world where challenges persist, we seek solutions for a sustainable tomorrow. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, guides our path towards climate action to social justice as we build resilient communities. From embracing circular economies, to reducing carbon footprint, to promoting eco-innovation, to empowering marginalized communities and ensuring inclusive governance and human rights. Through integrated approaches, we are fostering transformative change. I am IFY ONYEKWERE. Join me on the Development Report as we explore the intersection of sustainability on Universal Television Africa towards sustainable development. Welcome back to the Development Report with IFY ONYEKWERE. This is Universal Television, and we're discussing corporate responsibility in reducing plastic waste. Our guest, ONYEKWERE, who is a climate and energy expert, has been dissecting this for us. We are seeing the disadvantage. Before we went on the break, we saw the implication that plastic waste could even have on the food we eat. Now, taking this to the corporate entities, you know, what measures do you think? Because for everything, you know, for everywhere and every place we go to, in this space where we are, in the nation where we are, and I believe some other nations, you find plastic almost everywhere. Now, you know, what do you think organizations should be doing, or are there better things, you know, that could replace this? Because I don't know, but it actually seems like almost everything you get to buy from stores, the mall, you know, you find plastic with it. Is this something right, or is there something that organizations should be doing, and who and what should be regulating all this? Because if this could have an implication on our health, then it's really something to, you know, question.
Okay, thank you very much. Remember that back in the days where we used to go for catechism, we carry water bottle.
You know,
carry water bottles to church, and it takes us a longer walk to go to church. And if you don't have any water bottle, you'll be thirsty till the church is over. And yeah, so along the line, we had, even when we used to go to market, we carry baskets. Those big baskets, we put everything inside the basket, and we just carry our basket and go. Shopping basket. So if you don't have that shopping basket, there's no market for you. But nowadays, you see that people now even want to buy bread, nylon. Want to buy pen, nylon. Paste, nylon. Different nylon for different things. They'll tell you this one is for food, this one is for maybe accessories or something. Now pack it in different nylons. Then when you get home again, you now start removing nylon inside the nylon. Then what do you do to those nylon, those plastics? You have a place, you have a nylon again that you kept those nylon, now bring it out, then carry that nylon that you've brought from the market, now put that nylon again, tie it and put it back. Bring it to market the next day again, you now go empty-handed. What do we have to say about that? We have to say no to single plastics, first of all. Saying no to single-use plastics.
Single-use plastics.
Saying no to it, that if those nylons have to be reusable. You know, the 5R, we reuse, refuse, rods, and
I think we need to highlight that. Okay, we have
5
the
uses
5
of R.
Okay, the first one: reuse, refuse, reinvent,
rot, and recycle.
Rod and recycle.
Yeah.
So instead of just you know, some people even get offended when you go to get something and the person you're getting something from says, I don't have nylon or plastic, you know, to give you. And so people get, you know, agitated. So I think it's something we need to learn from, right? So we need to embrace what you're trying to say is we need to embrace single use of plastic.
Yes.
We need to be cautious, right?
No, we have to say no to single use of plastics. You know, now when you go to the gym, people don't carry water bottle.
True.
Are they carrying it for fashion, or they're carrying it for climate change, or they're carrying it because they have the knowledge about plastics, what they do to the environment? That's one. Two, even when people still have that notion that they carry those water bottles, they still have those their swan cans inside the car. The water bottles are really fancy, maybe because it's fanciful. That's why they have AM, PM, and they will tell you 1 o'clock to drink water at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Kind of a guide for you how to take water.
Exactly.
Is it for fashion or for just their awareness? That's aside. And again, when you look at those times we are going to the church, like I said, at a point you had to evolve to pure water selling. You now have to say, Mommy, I want money for pure water. It was like 1 naira, 2 naira at that time, or 5 naira. We all had money for pure water. So we don't have to carry water bottles again. So when we drink those pure waters, we throw them away. We don't even go to a nearby dustbin to drop it. Courtesy, just drop it inside, just straight on the floor. Someone gets to pick it, and what happens? That's aside. Then look at, for example, now when I traveled out to somewhere, I think I named India. I went to buy shawarma, a burger. That would be two. The guy was like, gave me shawarma in my hand. I was like, no. And the leader, it was 3 rupees or something like that.
You had to pay for it if you wanted
I said,
it.
no, I don't want to pay. I don't know what is 3 rupees. I have to eat it there. So imagine you go to ShopRite or these big shops, they give you leather, the drinks 1 liter, soap 1 liter, sausages 1 liter, ice cream 1 liter. How many liters are you carrying from all these big shops? So if everybody is like, they start from those people to say, no, if you want a leader, you pay for it. I believe that everybody will now come with their own leader bags.
Consciousness will now be there.
But if you're going to be paying like 50 naira, 100 naira for it, or 200 for a leader, you will not go to ShopRite or any of these big supermarkets, or even your local shops. If you want a leader, please pay for it. It's not free. So that's another way of seeing it, of seeing how to curtail such impact of having those leaders or plastics. I feel leaders are being plastic littering around. So even if in pure water sakes, you can have these seaway tanks, seaway dispensers, we can have this small area where we just put water for people to drink. But again, people now say, is it hygienic? Is it safe? That's another thing. So all those things, you know, when you talk about something, it leads another thing, So the context of this program is just plastic waste.
But measuring, you know, the disadvantage of, you know, checking if what the normal, you know, water without taking in bottled water and all like that, measuring the impact of the implication of, you know, what can come out of it. Because I believe if, for instance, in an organization, people are trying to curtail the use of excessive use of plastic, there's going to be other alternatives, right? Yeah, so measuring it, would you say reducing plastic waste as to other options, the other options might not really be as safe as plastic waste, because we need to measure it. If we're saying we need to reduce plastic waste, then are there other options that can actually be very hygienic for us as a people? Because it's not just about talking, we want to put this into practice. Yeah, so if we are going to be reducing plastic waste, are there other options? And even the producers of this, because I don't I really can't tell if there's going to be other options, or how the producers of this plastic would embrace single plastic use. Like, how, you know, we need to understand how this can actually affect their businesses and how we can actually go well for us as a people if we're going to be embracing single use of plastic.
Okay, that's fine. First of all, for producers, they can have ways of mitigating such disposals if they feel that the environment is not safe. First, they have to do what? Educate people. No, we have to have the awareness, continuous awareness. That's why government always say we've done awareness. Awareness is getting awareness, but creating awareness to the right people.
To the right
to
people.
the right people, targeting the right people, and the type of awareness you want to create. Because, and again, like I said in one of my discussion with someone, I said awareness is broad, but being cautious of the awareness you're talking about. Because I was telling someone that if you want to sell a pen, 2 pens, black and blue, for someone that's a student, and say this one is just a pen, you write with it, and it gives your work clean, your work neat. And this pen, if you don't read, you make A1 with this pen. You understand?
Yeah.
You just go with the pen.
That's
that
right.
makes A1. He doesn't even want to know if he's going to be clear, but fact he gave him what he wants. You see what he wants is just that A1. So we have to know what we are telling people about this plastic. But tell you, no, I use it for this, I use it for that. Some people even use plastic to put their soups. That's another way of also mitigating those plastics. You know, when you have ice cream, you think ice cream is inside the freezer. No, it's not ice cream, it's soup. It's soup inside the freezer. So that are ways to do it. And again, all these producers or these people that normally use these plastics, I think you should put like incentives to it. For example, if I'm going to be drinking a bottle of Coke, it's being sold for 350. I might say, if you bring back the bottle, I give you back 50 naira or 20 naira. Imagine the amount of bottle I'm going to pick to get 20 naira back.
I think this is even practiced in some countries.
So imagine the amount of bottles I'm going to pick to get my 20 naira back. Even if I can't say that I don't have money, like now I can't just say there's no work. I'll just go around picking bottles. Even now, people pick bottles, pick plastics, pick it and send it to some recycling agents. Like we have some people like Chandadati, Ecobata. Ecobata is not like ATM where you put your. I saw her on social media.
In Nigeria?
Yes, a Nigerian.
Amazing.
Ecobata. I'm not trying to promote her, but she's good. She's doing something like you put bottle inside a hole, like an ATM. It reads your amount of money and you collect the money.
Wow.
That is doing something like plastic to school. You bring plastics, send your child to school, or plastics for book.
Great.
So anyhow you don't to see it. Some people already see how to utilize these plastics, these environmental menace.
That's right.
For something productive for themselves. So they are even making money. When you see me picking plastic on the road, don't think that I'm just being mad or something.
Crazy.
I'm actually making a lot of money.
Wow.
Like people say, I saw an old woman picking plastics. How can she know what she's picking? She's
That's right.
picking money. In as much as the money might not be plenty, because it may, they weigh it and say maybe this weighing of this can cost this amount of money. So if she is able to like employ 2-3 people to bring more, kind of a chain, the value chain is increasing. I'm employing. All these plastics waste you are seeing here will be reduced. Then the other ones that want to feel that they are too tushed, they cannot do those picking of it. Cannot say if you drink any bottle of drink or any plastic, whatever, return it to us, we'll give you back your money, some percentage of the money. So then we way to encourage people to do what? To also venture into this state.
Yeah, I need you to speak to lots of young people who are crying over unemployment and enlighten them, about the possibility of creating wealth from plastic, as you just started highlighting. Tell them the possibilities, the depth, and the richness of what they can actually get from engaging in plastic waste business and all.
That's a lot. Okay, young people, I said I should talk. To create waste, as in plastics, to wealth, or to create wealth from plastics, it doesn't require you being a PhD holder or a master's degree holder.
Amazing.
Or being a governor's son or a minister's son. It requires your own self-willingness. You have to be willing to do it. You have to be motivated to do it. You have to understand what you're doing. You're not doing it for somebody else. And these plastics are not just in your house. They're not just in the street. They're everywhere. Look around you. There are many plastic you're piling somewhere for nothing. Maybe to tie, to tie ogiri. I'm an Igbo girl, sorry. Ogiri is like locust bean and their likes. It doesn't make sense. You can just pack it here, pick other ones, look for people that are into changing all these things that are going to convert it to wealth for you. They have several options of converting plastics to wealth, in the sense that they have ones for plastic for school, plastic for books, plastic for bank accounts, plastic for clothes, plastic for this and for that. So look for the one that is most stable for you and venture into it. This issue of I don't have money, I am broke, I am this and this, a little money every day can make it. And can even employ people to help you. As in, make a chain of it. Make it like a collection center. My house is collection center where people bring all these waste. Just bring your waste.
Amazing.
I'll help you take care of it. Just bring it. I'll help take care of it. And that way, we're going to have a clean environment, sustainable growth. Economic is going to be clean. You're going to be employing people. You're going to also add to the mandate of the government, and you're going to be creating awareness and sensitizing people around you.
Wow, amazing. It looks like a business everyone should venture into. Very great, very wonderful contribution from you, I must say, and I believe everyone who has listened to this particular business angle of this should do something about this. We'll go on a break right now, and when we come back, our guest is going to be rounding off talking to the corporate entities themselves. In a world where challenges persist, we seek solutions for a sustainable tomorrow. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, guides our path towards climate action to social justice as we build resilient communities. From embracing circular economies, to reducing carbon footprint, to promoting eco-innovation, to empowering marginalized communities and ensuring inclusive governance and human rights. Through integrated approaches, we are fostering transformative change. I am IFY ONYEKWERE. Join me on the Development Report as we explore the intersection of sustainability on Universal Television Africa towards sustainable development. Welcome back. This is towards sustainable development on the Development Report with IFY ONYEKWERE. All right, would you just tell us, the corporate entities, what should they be doing on their part, both private and government, what should they be doing, CSRs, to encourage people to reduce plastic waste, especially in the country, Nigeria and Africa as a whole?
Okay, to advise or suggest rather to these corporate entities that everybody's doing a lot in their own silos, like researchers are doing a lot, government, you are also doing a lot. Let's not take that away from you.
That's right.
But there's need for us to have a synergy. Synergize at a point. How do we synergize? By creating capacity. Going to build that capacity, build people's capacity to understand this issue, understand the global trends. Because I might not have gone to outside of Nigeria, but I need to know what happened outside Nigeria, outside developed countries. What are they also doing to help also duplicate what they do to Nigerian system? 2, train. Retrain.
That's right.
Train the trainer, train, and also provide awareness. These are the 2 things that you need to know for people to understand what you're doing, to comply with you, not to tell you we are our share, we are our own money. But if they understand the impact of what you're doing, those issue of those little distractions will never be there. I believe so. I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great having you, Mwankone, on the show. We have to call it a wrap here on the Development Report for this segment, Corporate Responsibility in Reducing Plastic Waste. Here's a quote to think upon. Sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the future without compromising the needs of the present. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my amazing guest. Great to have you in the studio today.
Thank you very much.
I hope to have you some other time.
Of course.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye.
Thank you.